Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 14th episode of Cricket Spectacle. I'm Sidharth Gulati, and as always, I have with me Nikhil Deshpande and Dan Gardner. Before we get going, on the behalf of Nikhil and Dan, I would like to thank all our viewers and guests who joined us in earlier episodes. Your support means a lot, and we assure that we'll try our best to add a variety of stuff in future. So let's get started. And I would like to welcome our guest for today, Siddharth Vishwanathan, a sports journalist who has been a part of the media industry for well over a decade. Siddharth, it's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I'm just going to start with you only. So regarding the World Test Championship final, so what do you make of India's 15-member squad? Would you have picked the same team, or would there have been any changes from your side?
Well, considering that they even got it to 15, both New Zealand and India, that is itself a commendable step, looking at the depth and talent that both sides have. No big changes. I mean, they went by the script. They did not make any major announcements. But the only thing that I got from the ICC World Test Championship squad selection, the vibe that I'm getting from the Indian team is that they are going to play probably both Ashwin and Jadeja.
Yeah.
The 5 bowlers that I may use in Southampton against New Zealand will be Jadeja, Ashwin, Ishant, Bumrah, and Siraj. Okay. Ishant primarily because he's got the experience. He helped us win a test in Lords. He almost gave us the win in Edgbaston, and he's got a great record against New Zealand, if you have to look at it. He's got 2 5-wicket hauls against them also. Yeah. Similar kind of conditions, maybe pretty similar.
Yeah.
Ashwin, Jadeja are your trump cards. Not only will they give you benefit of the bowling, they'll also give you buffer of the batting until number 8.
Yeah.
That is one. Bumrah automatically selects himself. The only toss-up might be between Shami and Siraj.
Yeah.
Shami has not played much since he got hit on the hand at Adelaide. But you can't ignore Shami because the way how he bowls, upright seam, ability to swing, skiddy pace. In England, that might be a trump card. On top of that, Siraj has been the man in form, and in that intra-squad game, he was the one who looked in rhythm. That's the reports that we got from there.
Yeah.
So the only conundrum I feel is between Siraj and Shami. I think the rest of the squad is the batting. There was no surprises. We all thought KL Rahul might be the dark horse. Mayank Agarwal, no. Shubman Gill is clearly going to open. Rohit, Shubman, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Pant. These are your 6 batsmen.
Okay, Siddharth, just stopping you there for a point on Siraj and Mohammad Shami. See, this is just my personal opinion. See, first of all, let's just get to the facts that Shami last played a test for India in December 2020 before getting injured in that Adelaide test against Australia. Since then, Siraj has grabbed around 16 wickets across 5 tests. In fact, he was also India's leading wicket taker in their historic 2-1 series win in Australia. He took 13 scalps. But then I think I personally feel that, Shami's experience and seniority might just be enough for him to seal a place as the third pace bowler. Yes, a little harsh on Siraj, I would say. But India, I think they need its second inning star, as we, rate him, second inning Shami, for this all-important encounter. Dan, what do you make of this?
Yeah, look, I'm just going to put it out there. Shikhar Dhawan, he should be playing.
Mate, he's going to lead in Australia. In Sri Lanka, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he deserves a call-up. He deserves a call-up in place of Shubman Gill. Look, Shiraz has been the man. He pulled it together in Australia, and I think he'd do quite well over in England. I mean, Shami is, incredibly experienced, but I think Siraj will sort of complement Sharma, Bumrah, and again, the twin spin threat of Ashwin and Jadeja. I gotta think though, English pitches, will it take spin? I mean, will we see a traditional English green top? That's sort of the question. I mean, looking at the picture, that's going to really come into play.
Yeah, Nikhil, before I come to you, so there's this one of my friends who stays in Northampton, basically. So he is pretty much well versed with the weather of, the English weather, I would say. So one fine day I was just chatting with him and he told me that, Siddharth, there's a good chance that, the Southampton pitch, in case, if it does not rain and the English weather stays, the way it is, let's say, there's basically, a sunny weather and all of that stuff. So there's a good chance that, the 2 of India's spinners might just get that purchase from the Southampton pitch. So he's actually like, this is basically, he just told me that it has been around 15 or 20 days at a stretch that it hasn't rained much and the weather has pretty much remained hot. So yeah, there's a good chance that the wicket might be dry. Yeah, your thoughts?
The funny part is,
Although yeah,
it's supposed to rain during the match. So there are reports that it's going to rain during the match. So whatever people have been planning, it could just get washed off. Like, no pun intended as well.
Sorry, what happens if the smash is washed out? Like,
it's just a shared. It's a shared.
The trophy is shared.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. A part of me hopes the match was washed out. Otherwise, we're not.
No, but
there are reports that 2 days might actually get washed off. So if 2 days,
the first day and the third day.
Yeah. So if 2 of the 2 days are getting washed, I think there's 1 day which is for as I think is a reserve. So that's still 1 day lost. So yeah, there's a very high chance that.
No, but it will only go into the reserve day if there is a probability of a result.
Yeah.
Suppose India have made 550, New Zealand responded with 500, and just 1 more day to go. Yeah, I don't think they'll push for the 6th day.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think either way it would be a draw in that case. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think it would be a fair result. I would say both teams share the trophy. I don't know why.
Because
India have had the ICC jinx for 8 years. New Zealand have had it for 21 years.
Always 21
years. Yeah. So that is why.
And I think this is not the time to, let's say, award someone the trophy on the basis of number of four scored, maximum number of four scored. That should not happen again, please.
No way.
If New Zealand actually get like screwed by some other ICC loophole or something, that's just going to be too much. I mean, they will probably just shut down the team and go play for Australia or something. Although we'll probably not have and enjoy that. But.
We'll take Kane Williamson.
Yeah, Kane Williamson could do that.
We'll take Conway.
Yeah, a couple of
maybe
maybe they can play the second All Blacks. I mean, they can be the second string All Blacks side rather than go play for Australia. Maybe.
Yeah, that they could do that. I mean, as long as they change the team name, that's what they need to do. In case that happens again, like that was such a unfortunate event for them. And it's just. Yeah, but one of those things. But coming back to what you said about the pitch, though. So I think for India, I mean, I think as Kohli thinks, and as we know Kohli to be an aggressive captain, he's not going to hold back depending on the pitch. He's still going to play the 2 spinners, right? Like that's how he's going to go. He's going to bank on his best players, match winners. Jadeja, Ashwin both can win you the match. The only alternative is Hanuma Vihari instead of one of the spinners, right? And like, if you think about it, is Hanuma Vihari ever going to win you a match single-handedly? That's the question. Let alone such an important game. You would probably not bank on him to win it, but Ashwin or Jadeja, who have been there, done that, you want those two to be there. If not, if one doesn't fire, the other might. So there's always that element of match winning qualities, or X factor as they call it. So the pitch, regardless of how it looks, I think India will go with their 2 spinners, the top 6 like Sidharth mentioned as well. So not much to be changed for India. I think Shami, Siraj, I would go with Shami just for the experience, because it's like a big and the thing is, Siraj is going to get his chance, right? It's not like India is not going to make more finals. The team is loaded. There's talent there. He'll get his chance. His time will come. He'll learn from this and he'll get there. A bit harsh, maybe, because he's performed consistently. But then it's another one of those things, right? Like, who do you want to be playing in the final? Like, Shami has that experience. He will not be he will not be the one who will be caught off guard, and he knows his head will be straight. And probably his last final as well. Realistically, it's going to be his last final. So why not give him a go? I mean, I think I would pick Shami.
I agree with you on the Hanuma Vihari point here. See, nothing taking away from him. He's a good player, and we all know, what he did for India in West Indies and in the Sydney Test, when he just saved the Test alongside, with that excellent partnership with R. Ashwin. But I think in this all-important game, you would need match winners, I would say. I would say, established match winners. Hanuma Vihari's time will come. It will definitely come. He's still around 27, 28. But yeah, I think, Nikhil, you're absolutely right there. It makes sense to go with 5 bowlers. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So so just coming back to you. So I think the New Zealand team, I would say Mitchell Santner's exclusion was on the cards, and it did happen. He has been, let's say, he has found the going tough in the long format, and Ajaz Patel has been picked ahead of him. But with Southampton expected to offer pace and bounce, as it has been reported, by the various news agencies. Do you see the Kiwis actually going in with a spinner? Actually, what do you think of, what do you think would be New Zealand's ideal playing 11?
I mean, okay, New Zealand have got the same problem like how India have. They have got plenty of depth in both the batting and the bowling. But I think New Zealand don't have that spinner conundrum. I don't think for India, they may pick Ajaz Patel. They may not. They may either go with, see, your 4 pacers are guaranteed in the New Zealand team.
Yeah.
Bolt, Saudi, Wagner, Jameson. That's your 4. Now, the 5th option could either be Colin de Grandhomme or Matt Henry. Let me make it very clear. Matt Henry has an excellent record against India. He knocked them out of the 2019 World Cup semi-final. Yeah. His spell was key. In Edgbaston, he knew the English conditions well. He knows how to bowl there. But if you pick Henry, then you have a problem. Because your batting is only till number 6. Yes. Which is why they may want the buffer of de Grandhomme. And English conditions, you don't need to have banana swing. He just manages to swing it around. He's 125, 130. He can maintain that swing, trouble the batsman outside off, and that's it. So my ideal playing 11 would be Conway, Latham.
Yeah.
Williamson slots back in automatically. Ross Taylor in. Then you've got Henry Nicholls. Maybe there is a case for Will Young to be included because he showed solidity in the Edgbaston test. But I think for the big occasion, you need your experience. And Henry Nicholls fits the bill.
It does not make any sense to, let's say, drop Henry Nicholls from the playing 11. He's an established batsman. He has done really well for New Zealand over the years. Yeah.
So Henry Nicholls is at number 5. BJ Watling is at number 6. Then you have de Grandhomme. His last test, yes. BJ Watling, what a servant he's been for New Zealand cricket. I mean,
very underrated cricketer, I would say. Very underrated.
Underrated match saver, I would say, because his knock was the one which helped them win that West Indies series in 2014.
Yes, I remember.
He and Williamson's partnerships. Yes. And of course, who can forget those partnerships with Williamson and McCullum against India and Sri Lanka? That was epic. And so that is why de Grandhomme at 7, 8 Jameson, 9 Saudi, 10 is Bolt, and 11 is Wagner. That would be my playing 11. But again, New Zealand have to be wary of 2 things.
Yeah.
They have got 3 left-handers and 3 right-handers in the team.
Yeah.
So Ashwin and Jadeja are both a threat to them. Plus Ashwin has a great record against Williamson.
Yes.
So they have to be, and Taylor doesn't find Jadeja to his liking. Neither does de Grandhomme. De Grandhomme was all at sea against Jadeja in that series in New Zealand. So they have to be the team that bats well in this ICC World Test Championship final will win. Because the bowling is guaranteed to take 20 wickets. It's which team that bats well that will determine the outcome of this match. And the weather, I mean, the British don't get the weather right themselves. So how do we know whether
anything right, actually?
I know, they don't get anything right. Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Dan, what do you...
And also, by the way, just adding to Siddharth's thing about the Colin thing as well, right? Because Colin actually has the best economy rate across all tests for New Zealand. I think it's probably best across the whole championship as well. So there's that element of, if they're going to go with pacers, they'll need that change up. And if you're not going to leak runs from one end, that's obviously going to add to the pressure, whatever Bolt and the other 3 are going to create.
Because
right? So that's
if
you
look at the variety in both the sides, India needs the variety in the spinners because all of them, barring Ishant, all are hit the deck bowlers. Bumrah is a hit the deck bowler. Siraj is a hit the deck bowler. They're not swing bowlers. Ishant is a swing bowler. But Bolt is a swing bowler. Saudi can swing it in the air and off the deck. The Grandhomme of the pitch and in the air also. Wagner is hit the deck. But the X factor will be Neil Wagner for the fact that you saw in both the tests in Lords and Edgbaston. He was not a one-trick pony bowling short every single time. He bowled full. He got results.
Right.
So Wagner, and he's got a great record against Kohli. He's got a good record against Rahane. The only batsman, I mean, see, Bolt will take care of Rohit and Shubman. Saudi, the others. Saudi has got Kohli also 10 times across all formats combined. He's the only guy to do that. So variety in the New Zealand team is such that you may not need a spinner. Because if you get the spinner, then the break and the pressure that they have built might go away.
Yes.
So Pant will take care. If Pant is there, he'll go after Ajaz. He'll go after, luckily, Santner. But yeah, Santner could have had that additional buffer. But looking at the selection, I don't think they need to worry about it now.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Dan, yeah, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, 100% agree. Look, Dan is nothing more than a net bowler. He has been for a couple of years. White ball cricket makes him look good. He's just a net bowler. I mean, look at his record overseas. It hasn't been that flash. I think the X factor is probably Jamieson. Terrific bounce, lots of good pace. So you could play the four seamers. I would go with Jamieson, Wagner, and then Southey and Bolt. And I would open with Jamieson as well. I mean, he has the ability to make life uncomfortable. That hit the pitch hard, up into the rib cage, put the bat pad in, put the short leg in. And if you're bowling first, you want to go hard because you got to take 20 wickets to win this match. And I don't think you're going to do it with a spinner. Patel's been great. He's offered something different, but New Zealand need to go with pace. And unfortunately, I mean, Henry won't get a start.
Yeah, and just to take forward Dan's point, in that series against in the New Zealand-India series, which India lost, they primarily had pacers doing the job. Saudi, Bolt, Wagner, Jamieson.
Yes.
So whatever is their strength, they may go with that strength. Patel had a very pedestrian role to play in that test match, and in the Hagley Oval match, they didn't play a spinner.
Yeah,
they don't need to, right? It's the same thing with India. Like you play to your strengths and let your best team take on their best team. For India, it's spinners. For the Kiwis, it's the pace attack. And India, by default and by historically, we are known to play spin better, right? And it's not like probably the only thing which can probably work in Mr. Patel's favor is that Moeen Ali actually got the best of India on the same ground 2 times. I think in 2014 and 2018 as well. He got like 4 the first time, 8 or 9 on the second time. I will never understand how Moeen Ali gets wickets. If anyone watching this has any idea, please explain to me how the hell does Moeen Ali get wickets? And he gets all the big wickets, especially Kohli. For some reason, he loves him. And if Moeen Ali can do it, then I'm pretty sure Patel could actually do it as well. So if you are looking at historic results for India on that pitch, and you're looking at that and you're Kane Williamson, you're like, should we just do it? Because then, see, there's the another aspect of India expecting the pace attack. Yeah. So what if we actually add that element of surprise and maybe just give it a go? Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. You don't bowl him more than 10 overs. Yeah. Best case scenario actually works. So there's that aspect to it as well. But then you'll probably need to drop Colin DeGrom, maybe, probably. That's again, but would you want to? That's the
point, yes.
Yeah, the risk and reward is actually not that great because you know what you're going to get with Colin, right?
Yeah, because Nikhil,
bowling.
The thing is, in England, if you have seen, even if you look at India and New Zealand, 2 teams who had rather similar fortunes in England, if you have to look at it. Yeah. India won a test series in England after 21 years. New Zealand have won it after 22 years. But if you look at this whole decade from 2010 to 2018, what has been the prominent trend in both the teams? Collapses. Yes. They have either collapsed in one session, they have collapsed across a day. I mean, technically in 2018, we should have won that series 3-2. We allowed Sam Curran to get us off the hook in both Edgbaston and at Southampton. So that's why the scoreline reads 1-4. Those collapses mean you can't play with 6 batsmen.
Yes.
In England in particular. And looking at the starting troubles that India have had, I mean, we have not won the opening test in England for 35 years.
Yes.
In the Sena countries, we have not, I mean, if you exclude Australia, in the Sen countries, we have not won a single, we have won only 2 out of 21 tests, that is 2 tests in 21 years. If you have to look at it, Australia, we lost the first test, even now.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, we lost. In South Africa, we lost. In England, we lost. So the Sena countries have a different dynamic altogether when we have to tour. So looking that, we have to have a buffer of 8 batsmen, which includes 2 bowling all-rounders in Jadeja and Ashwin. Thakur was incredibly lucky to miss out, in my honest opinion, because had you included him in place of Siraj, supposing 9 batsmen, 3 bowling all-rounders.
But I
just
think
Ishant and
this is where I think, you know, Thakur's selection. I feel that, you know, let's say, you know, if I was the captain of the Indian team, and let's say if I have to somehow make place for someone like Shardul Thakur, then I would definitely consider dropping one of the spin bowling all-rounders, either Ashwin or Ravindra Jadeja, because see, that's where your point comes in. You need your tail to be, you know, batting handy, I would say. They would be actually capable of scoring those runs. Let's say if there's a collapse, or you definitely need someone like Thakur or maybe Jadeja or Ashwin to hang in there with maybe with any of the likes of Virat Kohli or Ajinkya Rahane. So that is where I think Shardul Thakur, just, you know, let's say talking about him, if he would have featured in my 11, I would have considered dropping either of Ashwin or Jadeja.
Yeah, but then again, you are then giving up your prized possession of
Yeah,
a
and
spinner all-rounder.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Again, the risk and reward thing is, again, it holds the same for India as well, right? Like, would you actually sacrifice? You know exactly what you're going to get with Jadeja. You know exactly what you're going to get with Ashwin. And both of them have done even the last time when India went to England, if Ashwin was fit, it could have been a different result. Like, again, it's ifs and buts and all those things, but we shouldn't actually consider those. But then when you have the resources at disposal, just play your best. And then if you still fall short, then just accept that you did. But then you know for a fact that if India don't play those 2 and they end up losing, hope that doesn't happen. But if it does happen, the first thing they're going to do is, Virat Kohli is a bad captain, Ravi Shastri can't manage, the Indian team is this. It's just going to go. And if you play your best 11 and then lose, it's a completely different story. And again, it comes back to the mentality of the team, right? Like, India are pretty aggressive now. Like, it's a aggressive team who wants to win, and they're gonna play that. It's a no-brainer. I mean, I would be really surprised if either of the spinners get dropped. But yeah, it's just a matter of whether they want to do something crazy in the final. I don't think that's going to happen. No, it's going to be too much to ask for.
Yeah. Okay, let's just move on. Dan, I'm going to come to you. So let's say, irrespective of the pitch conditions or the weather conditions, I would say, from both New Zealand and India's perspective, what would you be tempted to do if you win the toss?
Bat first. Absolutely.
Why so?
Yeah. Why? Look, dry pitch, weather conditions, set the score, you set the tone of the match, you get out there, you get aggressive. You want Conway to belt the absolute shit out of it and play like he's in a one-day match. Do that aggressively, you set the tone, you put India on the back foot if you're New Zealand. That's what you're thinking if you're Kane Williamson. You can't meander, you're overseas, you want to take control of that match. I mean, interesting though, Tim Payne came out yesterday and he's tipping India to win this easily. So we'll see what happens.
And from India's perspective,
I mean, between New Zealand and India, I think Tim Payne likes India more, right? Surely. Like, surely.
Yeah, that's the issue, mate. You try and convincing Kiwis, like New Zealand cricket fans of reason and logic. It's a very, very tough sell. Look, I mean, New Zealand have done quite well. I mean, they're lucky to be in the final. Let's be honest. When you play 13 of your last 16 matches at home, you're going to get in the final on a points-based system. So they've had the advantage. They haven't had to travel. If Australia had not been docked for that over rate, would it be a different final? More than likely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Lots of ifs and buts with the Kiwis.
That's what it's come down to.
And then what would you do? Let's say, if you are the Indian captain, and what would you do if you win the toss, irrespective of the conditions and whatever?
Yeah, no, irrespective of the conditions. Look, I would bat again, and just go hell for leather. Play it like it's a one-day game, especially if you've got rain on the way. I mean, if you get to the end of that first day and you're scoring 350, 400, close to that mark, and you've got 5 or 6 wickets down, you're in a strong position to win the match.
Yeah, definitely. Nikhil,
yeah. What do we do if the match is a draw? If the match is a draw, watch out.
It's a shared thing again.
But that's fine. That's I would say that's sensible.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, yeah. But we can still find a loophole somehow to get rid of New Zealand.
No one was sharing the trophy. Okay. All
right. I'm not happy with that, by the way. Just to go on record, I want us to win.
Maybe if it was a draw, supposing there's no result, maybe the team that took the first innings lead should have been declared the winners, like how we do in the Ranji Trophy.
We are going with alphabetical order. We should be going with alphabetical order, yeah.
The number of no balls and wides in the third ball in the first inning.
I'm just putting it out there. It should be alphabetical order. Whoever comes first in the alphabet, they should get the trophy, and they should. That's the only way to decide it fairly. I'm not being biased. It's a fair rule. I think we should pitch it to ICC. Let's get someone on the call. Alphabetically, if they win, if it's a draw, it's fine. If the match is a tie, though, we go in the reverse order alphabetically as well. So that's New Zealand in that case, which is again fair. So I think I don't see any fault in that.
Last, when they were picking the school 11, weren't they?
Sorry?
Be honest. You always pick last.
I wasn't picked. What do you mean last?
There you go. I don't wonder why.
Yeah, because my name starts with N. They went alphabetically as well. So.
Okay, Nikhil, that's coming to you. What would you do?
Yeah.
If you are.
I completely agree with Dan, though. Like, if it's a final, big final, no pressure, go out and bat without any pressure, right? Just play the best thing. I think India already messed it once in the 2003 World Cup when we put Australia into bat. I don't know why Ganguly thought that was a good idea, but let's not make that mistake again. I understand that the conditions might be seeming around, but if it's seeming on one day, it's probably going to seem through the game as well. So just go without the pressure of batting. I think Shubman Gill, again, young player, if he's going to open, he's going to be attacking. I don't think he can survive. I mean, as much as I like him and I want him to improve, if he's going to try to defend the ball, he's going to get out eventually. And that's probably going to be true for most of the Indian team, including Kohli. Probably Pujara is the only one who can just stay there without getting out. If he wants, he can bat for 1,220 days and without getting out.
Shubman Gill is a big bowl by Trent Bolt in the first innings for a single figure score.
It's a possibility, and I'm not even going to rule that out. I like the guy, but I can see him getting out early very easily. I mean, the writing is there on the wall. If it doesn't, that would be a surprise to me. But yeah, I mean, that's the mentality, though. Like, if I was a captain for either team, that's the same thing as Dan said. Go out there, play with intent rather than trying to survive, because if you go to survive, you're going to get out. There's going to be one ball which is going to get you out, and you wouldn't be able to do anything in those conditions. It's not a flat pitch. It's not for you to decide whether or not you're going to get out. The ballers are going to get you out eventually. So go there, play your game. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Nikhil. If I was India, I'd open with Rishabh, Pant. Open with Pant.
Oh,
that's combination. It's going to be a little bit different. Put Gill down at 6. No one would see that coming. When you got two left.
I would, I'm telling you that I love this. I really love this decision from your side. I would actually be tempted to open with Rishabh Pant in such conditions, because New Zealand might not see it coming. Yeah.
Look, no one will see it coming. And if you're playing in the first innings, why not? He's opened before. He can bat a long time.
Yeah.
And it just negates those two left-arm bowlers.
Yeah, absolutely. Nikhil, Siddharth. I just took everyone's name. Siddharth, your final thoughts on, what would you do as a captain, let's say, if you win the toss? From both sides.
Just plain simple. Go by the Aussie philosophy. Bat first, put scoreboard pressure. Simple. irrespective of the conditions. Back yourself. And I absolutely agree with Jan. I mean, why not throw the Kiwis' plans out of gear and get Pant to open? Why not?
Yeah.
But again, I think the Indians would be like mixing caution with aggression. What if Pant fails? Then there is more pressure on the middle order in that case. Because let's not forget one thing, that New Zealand are in such conditions. It's not like Australia. In Australia, the Kookaburra, once 15-20 overs are done, then it's easy pickings. But with the Duke's ball in Southampton, when the ball becomes older, it will swing a lot more even then. So I think Saudi, Bolt, Wagner, Jameson are all capable enough to do well with that. And that's why I think India need to play the best player who's accustomed to that position.
Yes.
So I guess, yes, it will be a great thing if Pant comes out to open. I mean, that'll tell Virat Kohli is giving a statement of intent. What are you going to do? That'll be great. But I think that might not happen. So Rohit and Shubman might open. But it depends how New Zealand exploit the conditions.
Yes.
That's very important. Both teams. Because see, you can be given a flag, you can be given a green top, you can be given overhead grey skies. But if England do what they did to India in 2002, bowl, short, misread, and they made 628, India managed to win in Leeds. If that happens, what happened in that match? India batted well. So bat first, you'll get that option. The pitch might dry out on days 4 and 5 if the sun comes out. You got your 2 spinners in. Go for it.
Nice. All right, guys. Time for final prediction. Dan, your thoughts? Who could just have a bite at the cherry this time around?
Yeah, let's pick the best, like the man of the match. Probably that would be interesting. Like who's gonna win Who's gonna win the teams the match? Probably one wild prediction and one sensible prediction. Probably that's
yeah, Dan. Who could just have a bite at the cherry and who could be man of the match? Yeah. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Me or you?
Who are we going with?
Okay, I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Ashwin, my man of the match.
And the team?
I'm going to predict Ashwin to score a century. Yeah, I'm going to predict Ashwin to score a century. I'm going to predict the match is going to be a draw.
Oh.
In fact, I'm going to say better yet, I'm going to be a washout.
What a spoil sport. We don't want to wash out. Draw is fine. We'll take a draw, not a washout. But yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Nikhil,
it'll be a washout. You have to share it.
Well, I mean, for my sensible prediction, probably it will probably be a draw. But check that. India's going to win. That's my sensible prediction. Probably a bit wild would be that Virat Kohli will get a century and a duck in the 2 innings. So he'll balance it out. He'll get out on the first ball or second ball in the first innings and then come back with a vengeance in the second innings and probably do something. Let's hope so. And 2 centuries as well. I'm fine with that, but yeah, probably he'll get out early in one of the innings. I'm a bit skeptical with him and ICC tournaments knockout stages anyway. So he's not had a good record. So let's hope that gets fixed. Okay. What do you think, Sidharth?
Siddharth, final prediction.
For me, no wild or no any other prediction. I'm saying New Zealand are winning. My man of the match would be Neil Wagner. Neil Wagner would be my man of the match. He may bounce and probably outfox India a lot in the first innings. Second innings, when the pitch is drier, it's a bit more flatter. You'll need him a lot more. So that's why Wagner is my man of the match. If there has to be a man of the match for the India side, I would pick Rishabh Pant. He might change the entire complexion of the game. Because if you look at this English summer, it's been the summer of left-handers. Who scored the centuries and double centuries in the England-New Zealand tests? It has been Conway and Rory Burns. Both are left-handers. New Zealand have 3, but I don't know whether they'll be able to withstand this bowling attack of India. I would say Rishabh Pant is my man of the match if India win. But I'm saying New Zealand will win. Neil Wagner will be my man of the match. Deserves it, man. Bro, bowling 30 overs with 2 broken toes. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So my final prediction is that I fancy an India win, just like Nikhil said. And my man of the match could very well be Ravindra Jadeja for his all-round heroics. But then I think you just can't take New Zealand out of the game like this. It's not going to be an easy ride for India. So what I'm sure of is that, irrespective of the weather and the conditions, we are in for a cracker. So it's going to be a brilliant game.
And now Siddharth mentioned that it's been a summer of whatever summer that England people call summer is of left-handers. Then we should really have had Shikhar Dhawan open now, wouldn't we? Like that would make more sense now.
Well, it is what it is. But Shikhar's not there. He's down in Melbourne.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get again. Let's apologize to Shikhar Dhawan now itself because we couldn't get him on the show. I think we are running out of time.
Yeah, apologies to Shikhar for not being on the show. We'll try and get him for next week.
Sure. And the week after that, we'll probably get him a Team India coupon as well because he needs to come back. So yeah, we'll arrange both of those things next week.
All right, guys, that's about it. So, Siddharth, thank you for joining us once again. And,
anytime.
So do subscribe to our channel, Cricket Spectacle, for more videos on cricket. And until then, on the behalf of Siddharth, Nikhil, and Dan, it's Sidharth Gulati saying goodbye.
Bye bye.
Yes.
Enjoy the game.